What's going on, everyone? My name is Bertimus, and welcome back to another day in the forest. Now today, we're going to work on a few projects that are carried over from last time. Now, last time you may remember, what we started to do was work on some of those side rooms off of the temple. Now, I know, there's a lot more that can be done. There's a lot of outbuilding. There's all kinds of projects we got to do. But today I want to focus specifically on those buildings. Now, I left the last episode saying I was going to take care of a bunch of those rocks. I did all that in some off-screen time and did a little extra something. So what I'm going to do now is take you over there, show you what I've been working on, and let's see where this goes. Ooh, look, 2 rooms. Nice. Alright, so here's what's happened. I have filled in all the rocks all the way around here. And around the backside, I've sort of sealed it up just so it kind of looks pretty and nice. What happened here? What? These were literally all perfect, and now you gotta go and flip some on me? Friggin' loading physics. Who did this? Show yourself. Who did this? Not cool. Not cool. Anyway, so what I'm going to do today is a little bit of experimentation. I'm going to see if I can actually pull off what I'm hoping to pull off, which is going to be a little tricky. What I want to pull off is a completely rock dome ceiling. Now, I know there are techniques of doing this for like building stone bridges. I want to take that a step further and make a rock dome. I think I have a way to do that, but we're going to find out in this episode. The other thing is that with the collection room over here, so that's going to be the sacrifice room, this is now the collection room. What I'm doing is actually making it sort of 3 levels on the inside, mostly because I want to have this doorway here, and I thought it would be weird if it was just this one little piece kind of sticking out the doorway. But, you know, it's kind of like the aesthetic of having this sort of wood center, if you will, between 2 rock walls. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in all the wood here, and then we're going to build up the outside rock walls, and then what we're going to do is put another rock wall along the inside here where it actually will come up to just the edge of the door on each side and have that. And then what we're going to do is put in I don't know if you guys watched my old base tour. If you haven't, make sure to check that out. There's a link somewhere up here. Go check that out. But first, what I'm going to do is put in the skull collectors like I had over there, but all sealed off. So all you really get are just the 2 the 2 containers that can hold anything. Because honestly, the best thing about building a catapult in this game is the fact that you can put literally anything in it. All storage in this game should be able to put literally anything in it. That should just be a thing. But it's not. It's only for the catapults. So we're going to put some catapults in here so we can store some skulls and stuff in there, you know. First thing I want to do is proof of concept. I still want to build this up a couple layers, but I want to make sure this is going to work before I spend a lot of time putting a lot of rocks in here. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to pull out our book. Ugh, frames. Where you at, frames? Go to rock wall. And hello. Oh, yeah, there we go. Roughly the center here, we're just going to place a single rock. Now we're going to immediately build that up. And for this particular height, this will work as a proof of concept. But what we're going to do now is take this here and see if we can get it on top of the stone pillar there, and then take it off to here. See that? That's what I'm talking about. So this is the idea. Now, what I'll do is after I build this up another, I don't know, level or two, wherever I want the actual height of this to be. Build that up, and then what we wind up doing is just doing this repeated over and over and over again, and sort of as it starts to spin out, it will create this circular dome. That's going to take a lot of time and a lot of rocks. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to build up, I'm going to go off camera, I'm going to build up, I think, 1 or 2 more layers of these rock walls on this particular building, and then I'll come back, do some of this roof with you guys. You can guys get more of the process, see how that goes, and then we're just going to go right into building it. Because before this episode is done, I want to have that built so I can start working on the interior. It's a very tall order. I'm very well aware, but I think it's going to be awesome. So let's see if we can make that happen. All right, so as you guys can see in the off-screen time just now, like, it happened like that for you, but for me, that was a little bit. What I went through and did is actually added 2 more layers. So now these are 3 high rock walls, and made the pillar in the center 4 high, so we can start branching off and doing exactly what we did when it was shorter for the taller roof. So we can actually get a scale for what the roof is actually going to be like when that happens. Also, another thing I forgot to point out to you guys is I went ahead and closed off the little pathways that go down into the temple on either side. So as you're walking down, you really only see sort of the one entryway until you get closer, and now you see the other 2 branching off to either side with, you know, the stone roofs over them, which I think from inside looks pretty cool, because it legitimately looks like a hallway that turns, and that makes me super thrilled. So now what we're gonna do is try and replicate what we did on the roof before, but taller. I don't know if this will be harder or not. Okay, come on, get on up there. Come on, there we go. And then gonna take you over. Yes. All right, now we just need to replicate that about give or take 1 billion times. Okay, let's get going. There's no time like the presente. Yeah, see? Now wait. Oh no! Don't do this to me. Don't start partially deleting. Oh, you're the worst. Look, you can see what happened. It partially deleted 2 of the blueprints. Now, this is slightly due to them overlapping, and occasionally the blueprints, when they're overlapping, don't want to play nice with each other, and so one of them just, poof, gone. Which is very frustrating. But we're going to work through it. We're going to make this happen. You and me. We're going to make it happen. Oh my gosh, this is going to take forever. Oh. Alright, this is what I wanted. This is what I signed up for. This is the game I came to play. So if we're going to play it, we're going to play it. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do it the right way. Okay, so just to bring you guys in and sort of show you what's going on, I've only done a small portion of what this roof is going to be, and we're already pushing 579 rocks. That's an insane amount of rocks. And that's only a small portion. My guess. For all of you at home wanting to play along, my guess is this is going to be roughly 3,000 rocks to get this roof the way that I want it to. But it's so important. It's so important. I really hope it doesn't all fall apart when I get rid of this center pillar. It theoretically shouldn't. Theoretically should not. We'll see. I'm scared. So as I'm building this, this is starting to look... You can see just in the blueprints already, just the design and how this is all going to start to come together, and that makes me really excited. I did notice one flaw. I'm sure some of you have already called it out, so you can stop typing away in the comments of Bertimus, you screwed it up. I know. I got it covered. Doorway. I have to put a temporary one in here, fill this in, just so I can actually get it to go all the way across and fill the gap. Otherwise, there's not going to be a whole roof there. So, we're going to make this work, hopefully. So I'm going to fill this in right now so I can keep going. But I'm just letting you guys know, if you want to make this technique work like it's supposed to, you got to do the top layer as a circle. You can't have any openings. Oops. I'm going to take care of that now. Okay. Let's continue on with the roof. But honestly, this is starting to look really dang cool. And I am thrilled with how this is starting to turn out. Alright, so we've officially gone past what is the little piece that I put in. So I figure now is going to be a great time to test whether or not all of those blueprints sitting on top of that are actually going to be attached to it. They're not supposed to be, but if they are, that could be a problem. But we're going to test it out right now. Alright, here we go. You guys ready? I'm nervous. Whoa. We've begun. Now that's interesting. It got rid of a couple of them, but not all of them. Why is that? Also, this is making my frame rate just plummet right now, which is fun. Why did that happen? Why was that a thing that happened? So, who was taking bets? Because it wound up being around 2,000. Not quite what I thought it was going to be. Still a lot of rocks. So, the next thing you're going to want to do in order to make sure this mostly stays. Now, I think there may be one or two things that kind of break off, but for the most part, this should work. And what we're going to do is remove this center post. Destroyed! Alright, so we did see a few blueprints fall, but for the most part, everything stood up. So you might have to patch one or two things after you build it, but otherwise, you have this entirely freestanding, floating rock dome. Pretty sweet, huh? Okay, before we fill that in, what I want to do is start putting in the walls over here, and then we're going to put the inside wall in before I finish that. So let's go ahead and start that. And the way that we're going to do this is that as I'm taking logs over here and filling these in, you notice that each one of these walls takes 5 logs to finish. So we're going to put 4 into each of them, just so we can kind of get the basis of where everything is going to be. And then what we're going to wind up doing is putting in the inside wall into each of these. So 4 there, perfect. That one is good enough for now. I should bring those carts around. That could be more stones. Okay. So now that we have the 4 logs in each of the walls, what we're going to do now is open up our little book here. Go to rock wall and custom place it. So now we want to make sure that we're just next to the doorway, and then place these walls all the way around. There we go. There we go. Yep, so we're just on the outside of all of the wooden walls. Perfect. Okay, come in just a smidge. And then we'll do, looks like we're gonna have to do that. And then just to make sure we're not hanging off the edge here, we'll place one there and take it out. Perfect. So now we've got pretty flush rock walls on either side of this. Okay, so now I'm gonna finish putting in those. Actually, real quick before we do this, let's go ahead and put in the next tier of this. You. Nice. Alright. What we're going to do now is I'm going to go get a bunch of rocks, fill all of these up. I think with all of these I have over... Get out of the way. All of these I have over here filled up. That's roughly 400. So I'm going to take all of those and potentially some of these, now that they're empty, load them up with the rocks, start filling this in, and see how far we get, and then I'll bring you guys back into it. Yay! I went through and loaded up all of these once already. I did it again, but I did it once already. And I brought over, so the sleds that were over there, the extra sleds, I brought them all over and loaded them up with rocks just so we'd have extra firepower. And this is how far it got me. This is a lot of rocks. All of those sleds out there, this is all that it did. Now, I went through and managed to patch up some of those holes a little bit. I may have to fix them a little bit more, but you know, for the most part, it wasn't too hard. It was just a matter of filling in either side and then actually putting a thing there and stretching it across. It took forever to figure out because it was very fiddly. Another thing that I did was I put a fourth layer on the top here just to seal up the edges, so when everything starts to get filled in, instead of just having all of the edges around the whole circle for where all of these individual points are stopping, just kind of sealing that up and making it look nice, you know, just really merging it all together to make it look solid. Now we continue putting more rocks in, which, oof, this is taking a while. This is a lot of in-game days, just so you guys know, and then a lot of time in the real world. But let's make this happen. This is gonna be so cool when it's done, but man, is it taking forever. Alright, oh, here we go. Start putting in more rocks. Yay! Yeah, I know. You're hungry. Alright, let's get some food. Alright, let's get some food. Get some water. It's been a long day for you, man. Long couple days. Alright. Drink some of your water. Alright. Let's go show you guys what I got so far. Still need about 1,300 rocks. Granted, some of that is the walls on the other side, but it's still a large part. This thing. Good grief. Alright, so I finished the outer circle. Woo! Look at that. So now we have this like skylight or blueprints. I messed up a little bit and put a few rocks in there just because the targeting was weird. Don't worry about that. That'll all get filled in anyway. But as I'm looking at this, it almost makes me wonder if I want to try and do this again at some point, but just to have like a more circular skylight, because honestly, I kind of like the way that looks. That's kind of cool. That's not the purpose of this room. This room is to have a completely rock dome ceiling. But for all of you building this at home, there is an option to get up there, delete all those blueprints, and just have like a circular one. And there's also cleaner ways that you can do this too, by maybe making a circle of rocks and then doing that same method of branching out. The trick is to make sure that it doesn't end wherever you're placing it, because that will get rid of the blueprint when you delete the actual piece of it. So just bear that in mind. It's been so many rocks though. Oh, and I have to fill all these again. Well, I don't have to fill them, but it just makes it easier to fill all these up and then just quick snag them. But it is such a laborious process of going through and picking up all these rocks. Granted, it is... Hold on, is that right? Yeah, it is. It is much, much easier to find rocks than it used to be in this game. It used to be the rock spawning in this game was almost nil. So it made doing any type of rock building like this nigh impossible. It was just insane, the spawn rate. But things are so much better now. And it allows me to do crazy complete rock sculptures like this. And we're not even done with all of this after I finish this. I mean, I may be for this particular build, but what we're going to want to do is put a actual altar in here. Again, for any of you that have seen my old bases video, it's going to be something similar to what I did at the lake base, but it's going to be pretty great. There's so many rocks. For any of you wondering, if you were to attempt a build like this and you have a big enough screen or 2 screens, what I would suggest as you're going around and picking up rocks and rocks and rocks and then placing rocks and rocks and rocks, have this up in a side window, pull up Netflix on the other side and watch something, because you're going to have plenty of time to kill. This build is taking forever, but it's so cool, and I don't want to stop at least until I get this roof done. Oh. Okay, let's go find more rocks. Rocks. Where you at, rocks? Ooh, I found more rocks. Hey, look, rock. Rock over here, rock there. Oh, what's that? Another rock. Ooh, I like rocks, 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 rocks. Blacked out. What's going on? Oh, collecting rocks. Okay, cool. Neat. Ooh, look, more rocks. Speaking of Netflix, are any of you guys watching... Oh, I need one more rock. Hold on. There we go, got it. So, speaking of Netflix, are any of you guys watching the, what is it, Lost in Space remake that they just put out? It's pretty solid. I like it a lot. So far. I haven't finished it yet, but I might finish it while I'm collecting all of these rocks, because I only got like 2 episodes to go, and it takes a long time to get all these rocks and place them. I do have to say, it's very interesting how they decided to treat the robot, because I used to watch Lost in Space way back when, and then I watched the remake movie that was from, like, I don't even know what year that was, 2000 something? No, it was before 2010. I know that for sure. But it's just such a different kind of take on it, and yet it feels very much, you know, like a Lost in Space adaptation, which is very cool. I like it a lot, but at the same time, there's just a lot of differences. First one done. Only the rest of these to go. Yay! Also, how did the cannibals build one of these effigies here? How you do this? How you stick it in the rock? What? Is that a bunch of moss covering her hair? That's cool. Do they... Wait. I gotta look at this. Do they all have the moss like that? Wait a minute. Am I finding out something for the first time in this game? Is all of this moss procedurally generated to only appear on the top of static objects? That's cool! That is a nice touch. I have never noticed about this game before. And I've put a lot of hours in this game. So I wonder, with 1.0 coming out soon, if I were to, like, just leave all of this and try and roll with, you know, the base. I obviously will be, because there's a lot more I want to do. We will be starting a new season at some point, but I want to try and get this done, because I really want to try and see what all this build can actually be. But That being said, if I go back to some of my old bases, let's say, and check out some of those, would that moss that's being generated for older buildings start showing up? For instance, these rock paths, just leaving them here for so long in the game, would that start to build up moss on the top of these rocks? Because that would be a really cool addition. I think that would be a super cool addition. There's so much coming out in 1.0. I mean, I've heard a lot of rumors and speculations, nothing super official other than what's already kind of been hinted at and teased at by the developers, but I'm just really excited to see, stop being tired, what new additions get added in, because I'm really hoping they add some extra goodies with the release of 1.0. The one downside to not doing any of this in creative mode is you gotta do it all by hand. Legit. Phoenix knows what I'm talking about. My man. I really love doing these huge impressive builds, but doing it the legit way, you really gotta put the time in for it. But it's fun. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. So I'm gonna go continue building. I also need to fill in the entryway that I put over here. Got that all sealed up. This room is really starting to come together. I'm super happy. Alright. Let's go get more rocks. Let's just get more rocks. Rocks. Okay. It's been like 6 in-game days. Several hours in the real world. Actually, I'm almost done. For any of you that are curious, I'm almost done watching Lost in Space now. I've got like not a whole lot to go, because I did do what I said and I watched a little bit. It's pretty good. I recommend it. Anyway, back to the game. I finished it. Look, the roof is done. Oh man, this looks so nice now that it's finished. I just like the natural, like, sort of pattern and everything that happened from just repeatedly, again and again and again, putting all these rocks together. Got those holes patched up. Oh. I am super thrilled with how this turned out. That's just, it's such a cool thing to walk into and see all of this. Now, we have a lot of decorating to do on the inside. What I'm going to wind up doing is putting a stone altar, I think, here in the middle, surrounded by skull lamps. And then, probably skulls all along the outside of the walls, you know, like those decorative ones. I really want this to feel kind of like a little creepy, a little off-putting. But it's all about sacrifices, and sacrifices must be made to appease the forest gods. What I want to try now, because I don't know if I can do this, so we're going to find out together, is whether or not I can put a bone chandelier off a rock wall. Because it's not technically a ceiling. Like, I can put it down here because it's attaching to platform, because this platform could act as a ceiling. Can I put it up here? No. You gotta find like a sweet spot. Right. Do it anywhere. No. I got. Oh! You guys saw that, right? You saw that? Can I? If I crouch, maybe do the skull light trick, where I dip down and place it up. Yeah. Anywhere? Come on. Oh. Where? Wait, so is it actually active, or is it only flashing blue because it's rendering the new animation? Because I can't even, like, finesse that to come and stay blue even for a second. Yeah, I don't think that's actually active when it flashes blue. Hold on. Whoa! What? Hold on. So, it turned blue up here. I spammed the E key to try and get it to stay. And then it builds it underneath? Why? How? That's not what I want. More. Why? No, it's not what I want. Put this away. Go. Stop it. So I guess I cannot put a bone chandelier in the center of the roof. One drawback to stone roofs, I guess. But I don't care because it looks really pretty. What I can do, however, because I know you can put them in archways because I've done it a bunch, is maybe I can put a ceiling lamp. See, that's what I want the chandelier to do. What? Come on, game. Get with it. Alright, so I have an idea. Let's see if I can make this happen. Nice. Alright, so let's... Okay, all we need is rope now. Time to make a whole bunch of rope. Rope, 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 rope! Yes! Oh, man. Okay. It's not the bow chandelier that I wanted, but it will do for now. Ooh. That looks nice. Man. So, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This is the longest time I've spent filming and like putting together any build, and it's just because of the amount of rocks and the amount of time it takes to find all of them. But I don't know what you guys think. I think it's totally worth it to attempt to do full rock buildings like this. It's really cool. Now, the only reason well, first of all, I don't think I can put rock paths down on top of the wood, right? It snaps to the floor. Yeah, so it snaps to the ground. So I couldn't even put rock paths all over the floor if I wanted to, and just crisscross them just to make a like a rock floor too. That would have to be attached to the ground instead of on this platform, which I needed to do in order to get the walls, you know, relatively lined up and straight. But overall, I have to say, I am super happy with how this whole ceiling turned out. Man. Know what we should do? Let's go look at it from the top. Let's go... Put that away now. Let's go look at it from the top. I have a secret way to get on top of that building, which starts... Whoa, that's high. Okay. Just like an alley cat now. Yep. Oh, no. Okay. Don't phase through walls like that. It scares me. Oh, look at that. So you can see... you can see where I had to patch it a little bit. It doesn't perfectly line up. It's not super flush, but I'm not too bothered by it. Here's this entryway. And got it. Overall, though, yeah, this pokes out just a little bit. This one's not so bad. But, I mean, it's not perfect, and these blueprints can get exceedingly fiddly. So the fact that I was able to pull this off at all makes me pretty happy. Now, this center portion looks really interesting because it looks like somebody went through with like a bunch of clay and like slapped it all together just to like plug a hole. I really like the way that looks, honestly. I didn't expect that, but it looks pretty cool. You can see just enough of the light kind of peeking through. Oh man. Stone huts. Circular stone buildings. This is a bit messy, but that's fine. Yeah. That's super cool. God, this is cool. pain to build. But God, does it look good. I like that. And especially once we start getting all the walls in here. And so it'll look just like a doorway. Until you walk in, you're like, oh my gosh, it's a circular room. That's crazy. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me. Whatever. Fine. I think that's that took a lot of time. So that's all the time I have for this episode. But we got a lot more work to do. I still want to finish this room at some point. What we have to do in this one is put in our catapult special looking holders in order to hold all of the skulls. And then we're going to put in a couple tables with a bunch of the bone boxes just to like store everything we get from our sacrifices. May even put in a couple meat racks to store body parts like arms, legs, whatnot, just in case we want to build some effigies down the line. You know, we need bits for reasons. Still have to figure out what to do with this plot of land, because I know that over here I have plans through the big garden, but I don't know what to do with this side. You guys have ideas, let me know what to do with this side here, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about that too much right now. I'm going to go ahead and end this episode. And, actually I'm going to, hold on. I'm going to end it from in here. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and end this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Until the next time, I'll see you guys later.